different categories of liars over here in the Gate of Falsehood. So Orchot Tzadikim says, he says the 8th category of those people who praise themselves for qualities they don't have. Praising oneself is a great sin, even if you say it's true. Why? Because it's a sin to boast. It's gava, it's show off. So therefore, our sages said, you shall meet Trumot says, Shvit, says if the people honor you because they think you know 2 Masechtot, you have to be honest and you have to tell them, no, I only know 1. You can't deceive people to give you honor. The 9th one, משקר בסיפור דברים ששמע. מחליף דברים על אודות חפצו, ואין הפסד לשום אדם בזה, אך יש לו מעט הנאה בשקרו. The guy is lying about the facts that he heard according to their needs without causing anybody injury. Famous case is Rav and his wife. The Gemara says that Rav, whatever he told his wife to cook, she would cook opposite. He would say lentils, she would make him peas. He asked for peas, she'll make him lentils. Chia, Rav's son, he saw this problem, so what did he do? His father asked his son to ask his wife, make me peas. So what did Chia do? Chia told his mom, lentils. That way, what would she do? She'll make peas, and then she'll make what her father wants. So all of a sudden, he sees that he starts sending his son to give the message. So all of a sudden, the mom, she became better. He's like, oh, your mother learned already. So then Chia said, oh no, because I switch, I lie to her. I say peas, I say lentils in order that you should get peas. What did Rav do? He said, no, this is not good. He's micha rab beyado shelo la'asot od mishum limdu lishonam deber sheker. Pasuk says in Yirmiyah, your tongues have been caught. They have taught their tongues to speak lies. He says, you're giving yourself a habit of lying. I know you have good intention, but you're teaching yourself to lie. It's not good. One must be careful that if his fellow man comes to him asking for something you have, you shouldn't say you don't have it. But if he must, you should put him off in a way that doesn't necessitate lying, right? For example, they're asking for a loan. And you know this guy, if you have the money, you should give him a loan. What do you mean? But if you know this guy he doesn't pay back, he has a track record, he's not a good guy. So you're allowed to say, I don't have money for you right now, right? So you're not lying. I don't have money for you, I have money for somebody else, right? You say a white lie that it could be interpreted in multiple ways. But you can't outright lie and say, no, I don't have money. You can't lie. Great is the punishment of the liar. As it says, Ashfiluk sho omer emet, ed ma'aminim lo. As the Gemara Sanhedrin says, a liar, his punishment is, even when he says the truth, nobody believes him. Right? The famous story, a boy cried wolf. Right? Cried wolf. Sheker en lo raglayim. Right? It says, Sheker has no feet to stand on. And one should not be the cause of another person's lie. If you see 2 people speaking privately and you go to them, what are you going to do? If you go to them and say, what are you guys talking about? What are you causing them to do? You're causing them, they're going to have to lie to you now. Well, don't cause people to lie because of you. One must be careful not to lie in your dealings, not cause other people to lie. You be careful not to have a friend who's a liar. One who needs great wisdom to escape lying, because the evil inclination always tries to give you rationalizations why it's okay to lie. A person has to be careful not to lie. He says there's instances that they're allowed to lie. There's very few cases you're allowed to lie. Gemara says, "La'asot shalom ben adam lehavero." For to make shalom, you're allowed to go make a white lie. Or for example, Beit Hillel says, "Kalana hasuda." Right? The guy gets married, you're allowed to say that the bride is beautiful and charming, even though she may not be so, because it's at the end of the day, it's beautiful in the eyes of the beholder, right? He thinks she's beautiful. It's the truth for him. In regards to hospitality, a person should not announce in public, how good was this man? I had such a great time in his house. So when they ask you, you say it was okay. You lie for the sake of your own or the host, so he doesn't get bombarded by guests, right? One who blesses his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, will be considered a curse to him, right? So now also when it comes to Masechet, like Mara says, if someone asks you how much you know, you're allowed to say, I don't know anything. I don't know so much. However, Tosafot over there says, right, let's say a guy says, how many Masechtot did you finish? You say, I didn't finish so many. Even though you finished, let's say, 15. Right? You're not allowed to say how much you finished. And you're allowed to lie, to be humble. But if the Tosafot says, but if they ask you halacha and you do know, you can't lie. You have to know. If you know the halacha, you have to say.
Well, what if by telling him what's called, by not telling him you're not humble either?
What do you mean?
You say, I finished reaching the Sefton, and you don't want to say, I'm saying.
No, that's it. They asked you. The case was they asked you. They asked you, how much do you know? And you're allowed to lie. They say, I don't know so much. Good. Says the Gemara Metzia. The last case you're allowed to lie is Im Sha'al Avo Bet Knesset B'nei Sheshimesh Mitato. Let's say one was delayed coming to synagogue because he was doing the mitzvah. Right? He was doing the mitzvah. So therefore, what happened? Shalu Lama Sha'ad. They asked you, why were you late? What were you busy doing? So a person has to say, Yitle b'dvarim acherim. You have to go and lie, say it for a different reason. Why? Because this is also tzniut. You're allowed to lie for the sake of tzniut. Sometimes people get married. And what happened? The people, his friends come to him the next day. No, what's going on? There's that.
I heard the building fall down next to you.
So then. Aram, you always come in with the bomb, huh? So over there, a person has to be tzanoah. You don't talk about these things with anybody else. You're allowed to say, you're allowed to lie, and get out of the situation because these things that a person has to be careful not to give into. Baruch Na'olam, amen.